Local artist Robert Vanitvelt is repurposing art created for Black History Month to generate a conversation about historical figures within the African American community.
It's better to do something than nothing. By showing people, raising awareness through education, and art is probably the most powerful advocate you have. Hi, my name is Robert Vanitvelt. I'm a local artist, and I'm now an activist. To show solidarity, to show that you care. This started out by, I always put a painting on my window that has a conversation starter for my town. People walk by my house to see who I have up. So I had contacted my friends to see if they wanted to hang up a picture, because here I am sitting on this resource that I've created, Carrie, and said, that work at Create, and I said, do you want to hang one in your shop window? And she called everyone. In 12 hours, we had heard responses from most businesses. It's so different to have the different faces that art can show based on how you install it and where you install it. And this just became so much more potent because you'd have to tour the library in order to see it.
Rob's artwork was originally displayed at the Way Public Library.
Learn about it. I was like, wait, paint about it. There's so much history in each piece, and it's people that you know. Their lives, what they did, is the literal culture of America.
Thanks in part to BGSU history professor Nicole Jackson, who also served as a tour guide for visitors, shining light on the historical significance of each individual.
My role at Way Library to essentially just provide historical context, Black history and Black art and Black culture into the rest of the year, and they can learn a little bit more.
The effect of it, like last year, a couple of people had asked me to show them my work, and I was like, oh yeah, little did they know that I knew a lot about each character, and like as I painted them, I listened to podcasts, I listened to their interviews, I listened to them singing, so I would go around and tell them about each one, and they were just like, that experience really brought it home. And two, and if you don't know, well, here you go. I think it's a great public service. And Nicole's awesome. And two, why don't we get people of color involved?
This is the exhibit of some of the mugshots of the Freedom Riders, but I also try and tell my students about the Freedom Riders as I'm trying to explain the civil rights movement in a more complicated way. One of the reasons why the Freedom Riders are so important is that they're literally just young college students. Part of why I love this exhibit more than some of the others is that some people may never come into the library to see the rest of the exhibit. They won't go on the tour.
I made sure that I put Marsha P. Johnson at the bridal shop. Now she's on a bridal shop window, and that in our town echoes. And then two, I also want you to look down on the Instagram post of the bridal shop, and you will see that people are like, I'm so glad that I am a gown shop bride. You have made a statement that made, she has made a loyal fan base through that, and she put all those up herself. And I had a responsibility that when I gave them their person, that I said, get a piece of paper and a pen, and they're like, is this a quiz? And I said, more than. And I said, you have to make sure you have their name, these points about their story, and people wrote reports. They didn't just like copy and paste. You could see they were moved, they were visibly touched.
The positive buzz created by the portraits caught the attention of surrounding communities.
Toledo had reached out, Sylvania had reached out, had wanted to bring it to their town, seeing that the response in our town was so positive. I'm gonna take them down, store them safely, and then follow up with the people that wanted to show them and see what I could do. What a missed opportunity, to maybe not put it on second story windows. And if you don't want to do it just because I'm white, find a person of color. There is so many people of color that are doing great work that has a deep message that you could totally support easily by reaching out. And I'm sure they would love to put their name out there. So if I don't work for you, please reach out for people of color that are doing work like this. How do I feel? That I'm not doing enough. That they're not big enough. They're not bold enough, because there's still things happening that we can all prevent just by speaking up It makes me feel like I want to do more and be more, and not for myself, but for my community, you know? Injustice anywhere is, unchecked is injustice everywhere.